The stillness inside the Brown family's formerly thriving home was chillier than Flagstaff's cold winter nights. All was changed since Robyn Brown's hospitalization. Her unexpected fainting, initially attributed to mere exhaustion, had unexpectedly precipitated a coma. Despite the medical terms of autoimmune storm and neurological inflammation, no doctor could provide a clear diagnosis. It was as if her body had only surrendered. A slow, quiet collapse began occurring in the household that Kody and Robyn shared with children before. While the world outside transmitted prayers and condolences through social media during Robyn's absence, 21-year-old Aurora Brown became de facto head of household. She prepared meals she didn't eat and cleaned the surfaces. She passed through her mother's empty room every night, staying a moment to touch Robyn's perfume bottles, run her hand over the frayed edges of her books, and iron out the rumpled scarves that never left the room. She never cried. Her grief was locked, boiling and quiet, but it roared within her. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. Kody, on the other hand, was physically there every night. He returned from the hospital hours after visiting hours had ended and moved through the house in a weird, almost reverent way, as if he wasn't supposed to be there but couldn't quite muster the will to leave. At 2 in the morning, Aurora would find him in the kitchen, sitting blankly over a cup of tea. It was like he always had something to say, but never said anything. Both of them were tormented by the unspoken things. Months had passed since that kiss, something that had been stifled. Not blown out, not extinguished. It happened in the middle of a thunderstorm, one of those desert monsoons that rattled windows and poured slick rain down over the city. Robyn had been recuperating after a minor outpatient procedure. Invisible but in the way, Aurora had relocated to the living room, where she wrapped herself in a blanket and a bottle of wine. Kody remained at the house, doting on her. Kody was there for her, and they talked of Robyn, of life, and how things had started to feel hollow. And then it happened. Her hand brushed his in a vulnerable moment. A searingly long breath, unsure and quivering. Their lips met, then separated, as though the house itself had sighed. They never mentioned it again, but that moment had stained everything. Robyn had been in a coma for 3 weeks when Aurora discovered the deed in the third drawer of Robyn's old desk. It was properly placed in a manila envelope, addressed and sealed to her. Her gut tightened when she read her name in Kody's script. She opened and read, Kody Wynn Brown. Hereby gives Aurora J. Brown full and complete ownership of the property at 143 Shadow Hill Road, Flagstaff, Arizona. Her knees buckled, and the world around her crashed. No shouting or accusations were exchanged in the argument that followed, but just sadness and a thick silence filled the air like smoke from a fire that could not be extinguished. She took the deed in her trembling hand and whispered, I thought you wanted to protect me. No, Kody said, sitting across from her, his eyes sunken with guilt and sleepless nights, his hair mussed. I'm trying to protect you, he insisted. If something happens to Robyn, if she doesn't wake up, Aurora cut him off. Stop talking like that. Kody's tone was soft. She made me promise to make sure you were okay. She made me swear. Don't let them push her out. If anything happens to me, she said, don't let her disappear. I'm holding that promise. Aurora laughed bitterly at his words, but didn't respond. She stood up slowly. You think what happened between us is just forgotten? No. Kody's voice was hoarse. Nothing can undo that. But it does do you something, Aurora. She turned away, looking out into the dark yard outside the window. I have no desires, not in this way, and not from you. Meanwhile, Mary Brown across town watched all of this with growing horror. It had been weeks since she'd last talked to Kody, and it was starting to feel like years. The only things that kept their marriage going were wistfulness and quiet resignation. But Robyn's illness, and more notably, the chain of events in Kody's actions, had awakened an old part of her, the guardian, the investigator, the woman who once stormed with rational fervor and coolness for her family. She started to make connections. The midnight pacing, the visits to the property, Aurora's strange silence, and this act. It wasn't giving, it was a warning, a wisp of smoke from falling down. She dug deeper. She sifted through old accounts that she could still access, managing the family finances. She listened to voice memos, finding a deleted recording that had been recovered using software she never thought she'd use again. It was Kody's voice, hoarse and distraught. I kissed her when I shouldn't have. It just slipped out. She looked at me with that same look Robyn did before everything got weird, and for that, I loathed myself, but it didn't halt me. Mary's heart thudded as she stared at the waveform on her computer screen. She called an old friend, a retired private investigator who had helped with family law cases for her in the past, and uploaded the file to a USB. I need to know if this deed exists, she said, and if this constitutes coercion or something else. 2 days later, Robyn woke, weak, confused, but alive. She blinked in the light, and the first name she said was Kody's, then Aurora's. They appeared at her bedside with tears in their eyes and trembling smiles. Aurora cried as she took her mother's hand, not just out of joy, but out of the overwhelming weight of all that she had not been able to say to her. Robyn whispered, "You both stayed. I was saved by you." Neither of them said otherwise to her Robyn. The abused recovered. It took several days, and it was painful. She did not ask questions about the act, unaware of Kody's growing paranoia or Aurora's sullen silence. Not yet. But Mary had already begun talking to the Flagstaff police. There was a complaint filed, and investigators began gathering public statements, deed records, and tax returns. Kody's telephone was subpoenaed. Encrypted messages, erased photographs, and a virtual ashtray were found. Though the scandal had not yet broken, it was coming. And when it did, it would annihilate the Brown family. This was not just a betrayal. It was a collapse of everything they had ever feigned to be. Would you rather that Mary was front and center as the moral compass and whistleblower of the family? Robyn found out the whole truth? Or Aurora had public and legal repercussions? And that's not all. Janelle Brown's life in 2025 seems to have had a complete turnaround. Janelle Brown's life in 2025 is quite different from the one she had while Sister Wives Season 19 was on production. She married Kody Brown in her 30s at that time, marrying into his polygamous family and sharing a home with him and his other two wives, Christine and Mary Brown. Being part of this odd family, Janelle believed that she could have a blissful future. Over the next 30 years, Janelle and Kody had 6 children together. She was a devoted wife and strict matriarch, going out of her way to follow Kody's orders. Nevertheless, Janelle's life in 2025 was a far cry from that of the young bride of the beginning. She had spent a good portion of her money, including Kody and the other sister wives, purchasing Coyote Pass, a 14-acre tract of land. Originally, Janelle had dreams of starting a family there, but after she and Kody's breakup, it all became muddled. The land became the source of incessant conflict. Janelle kept trying to convince Kody to sell the land and give her a fair share of the money for months. However, Kody did not make Janelle and Mary earn a worthy return on their investments, but instead focused on accumulating more profits together with Robyn, his second wife. Janelle and Mary later united and threatened to sue Kody. Soon after, Sister Wives viewers learned Kody had divided Janelle and Mary an interest in the land. Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Mary sold Coyote Pass on April 1st, 2025 for $1.5 million, according to several news sources, making $680,000 profit on their original investment. Janelle reportedly took home around $375,000, more than twice what she originally invested in the land in 2018. Prior to when they actually broke up in 2022, Kody had been gone from Janelle's life for years. Janelle recalled an uncomfortable run-in with him on her birthday After the breakup, Janelle directed all her energies toward herself. First, she relocated from Flagstaff, Arizona, to sever all the strings with Kody and moved to Chocowinity, North Carolina. She is said to have purchased Tative Farms, a piece of agricultural land, for $289,000 in North Carolina. Janelle's daughter, Maddie Brush, lives near her husband Caleb Brush and their 4 children. As a result of taking this step, Janelle shared adorable pictures of her kids, Peyton and Savannah, as they were getting around in Raleigh, North Carolina. In December 2024, Janelle shared that Peyton also relocated to North Carolina and rented an apartment so they could all be closer to each other. Now Janelle wants Christine to buy a second house in North Carolina as well. She is getting a state ID card, legitimizing her transition to North Carolina. She is looking forward to settling down in the Old North State, despite having an initial setback at the DMV. Since her marriage with Kody recently ended, Janelle looks forward to moving on with her life. Despite still being considered Christine's sister wife, she is gradually looking away from the polygamous lifestyle. As opposed to Christine, Janelle is not looking for love again. She will live life to the fullest, single in North Carolina. Janelle has already begun building a new home that will be close to her daughters. Posting a video of the property where she is having her new home built, Janelle captioned, "My home is slowly coming to fruition. The house has been staked. She will be settling in by the holidays," going on. "My house will have a large covered front and back porch. Bring on afternoons spent swinging on the porch with necessary screens for bugs in the summer." Sister Wives fans are pleased for Janelle and commend her on her fresh start in North Carolina. She's moved away from Arizona and settled down in North Carolina, lost significant amounts of weight, and started 2 new businesses. She's also begun on a personal journey to eliminate any bad thoughts that could hold her back from being the best she can be. Since the beginning of 2025, Janelle has been striving towards her goals and continually making progress. Despite all the positive things that have occurred in her life, Janelle still struggles with the overwhelming grief of losing her grown son, Garrison Brown. She recently shared never-before-seen photos of her son on Instagram, along with a heartfelt message in his memory. "In the millions of pictures I have, sometimes I forget that I will never get to see you again. Then I remember." Janelle described the loss as an odd feeling, but concluded her post by saying, "I will see you again someday." Although Janelle continues to live her life, she holds her son's memory close to her heart. Kody Brown returned to Cameo with his fan video messages that are custom and tailored, costing him a little bit more money currently than before, making him suspected of perhaps fighting financially. Kody and Robyn had rumors about their financial difficulties when he declared himself bankrupt in 2005, way before they tied the knot with Robyn in 2014. It's fascinating to see Kody on Cameo, since now he charges money for sending birthday greetings, inspirational speeches, and the like. He also looks happier marketing these messages, which is such a stark departure from his usual melodramatic tirades on TV when he's very much bitter with his ex-business partner's offspring, and at times even Robyn herself. It is likely that Kody increased the cost of his cameos because he feels that the site can be a profitable venture, possibly focusing on his wealth while wanting to portray a good image. Kody used to charge $99 per message, but now fans have to pay $149 for a personalized cameo. To put it into perspective, actor Don Johnson charges $500 per message, but a lot of other celebrities charge less. Despite the hike, Kody's cameo prices aren't really that exorbitant. Cameo has been a lucrative platform for reality stars such as Kody, and maybe he's hiking his prices to help fund his lifestyle. Kody and Robyn are reportedly high spenders. Their property purchases alone cost a lot. In late 2024, they sold one property for $1.775 million and proceeded to buy another for $2.1 million. While they make money from their TV show appearances, their earnings might not necessarily cover their lavish lifestyle. Back when Robyn was preparing to marry Kody, she owed around $30,000, and the other Browns had to help settle her debts to secure mortgages in Las Vegas. Besides houses, Kody and Robyn also spend on expensive jewelry. For example, they have matching sign rings by David Ure that they both wear as part of their expensive expenditure. From a video above, you can see Kody's ring, which features a horse in its design. On the David Ure website, the ring is 14.8 millimeters in diameter and has an expensive price. The worth of Kody's necklace, a heart of the ocean piece from the same luxury jeweler, is estimated at $1,250, while prices can vary. It is a costly design, and Kody also wears a lapis lazuli shield pendant, which can symbolize strength, guarding qualities Kody has, as he is very protective of nearly everything. The two ladies, on the other hand, were very well rewarded by Kody's gentlemanly gesture, with each of them receiving $375,000, a massive sum. Prior to restructuring ownership, Kody held 97% of Coyote Pass. After rearranging the ownership percentage for $5, he and Robyn wound up with $750,000 of the $1.5 million sale of the property. This was a move toward Kody's maturity. His realization that his previous partners had contributed to the growth of the family business just as much as he had. Even though this option left him with less money in his own bank account, it was a move to provide acknowledgement of their contribution. Kody's wife, Robyn, loves luxury goods. Robyn's doll addiction was uncovered by Katie Polson, an investigative reporter for Without a Crystal Ball, and her excessive spending was highlighted. Robyn shelled out a ton of money on custom doll outfits, American Girl dolls and other things, a whopping $70,000, says the magazine's official Instagram. While it might have been satisfying to buy these items, it appears to be overboard, suggesting that Robyn might have been using the shopping as a way of dealing. Her enjoyment of showing off these toys to her loved ones implies ulterior motives, with some guessing that it has something to do with conspicuous consumption. Conspicuous consumption is the practice of purchasing items to show off one's wealth. Robyn, who was not able to afford top brands like Victoria's Secret before, may now have the same desire as Kody in projecting a rich image after years of having so little. It's natural to want things, but maybe they've gone overboard in their efforts to purchase status. Perhaps Kody feels more financially secure now that they've sold their home at Coyote Pass, and he's earning money on Cameo, where he has a 4.86 rating after 144 videos. Despite these sources of income, however, it's just as likely that he still feels financial insecurity. Many people, even celebrities, live with financial uncertainty. Let's hope that Robyn and Kody are able to keep their spending in check. Life in North Carolina, Janelle is making moves to fully settle in. Now that she has broken up with Kody, she is embracing her new independence and is making important moves to establish a new life. Getting a driver's license, albeit late, is a symbolic move towards fully settling into her new home state. The fact that Janelle is finally getting her driver's license, despite repeatedly delaying it in the past, indicates that she is set on settling into her new life. After selling Coyote Pass for $1.5 million, including paying off a $340,000 loan, Janelle's finances seem to be on better footing. However, her eagerness to get her driver's license could also be due to her ongoing transition and her need for identification, possibly for business or personal protection in her new life. Her mention of the Real ID regulations implies that this may be an important step in finishing her relocation and planning for the future. Aside from her North Carolina farm, Janelle has been actively running various physical and online businesses, which indicates her desire for financial independence and personal growth. It seems that her new life in North Carolina is not just a matter of settling down, but of becoming independent and putting together her life outside of her past with Kody. Janelle is clearly creating a new life for herself in North Carolina, where she's taking charge of her destiny and building a life that's entirely her own. This reinvention of herself, both personally and financially, is significant, especially after her tumultuous relationship with Kody and her attempts to leave her polygamous history behind. The metamorphosis is taking place, and Janelle is making sure each step she takes is in the direction of happiness and success. Janelle Brown's change is inspiring as she embarks on a new chapter in her life. Having overcome the emotional grind of losing her son Garrison and breaking free from her abusive relationship with Kody, she's making visible strides towards personal healing and growth. It's clear that she's not just achieving physical health, but also nurturing her mental and emotional health. Her efforts to cleanse her life, both physically and spiritually, are observed through things like journaling, meditating, and limiting her screen time. These efforts are helping her cope with the grief she is experiencing, especially after such a great loss. Janelle's commitment to creating a healthier, balanced lifestyle speaks volumes about her strength and resolve to keep moving forward. Physically, Janelle is glowing. Her radiant complexion, youthful glow, and naturally chic appearance are all the result of her new confidence. From her bright complexion and pastel hues to her stunning choice of clothing, Janelle is the best she has ever been. Her peaceful presence and refined demeanor emanate both inner peace and a sense of self assurance that she maybe didn't have previously. The image of her in a raspberry colored blouse, which complements her cool toned skin so perfectly, is an image of a person who is truly accepting who she is. Her close relationship with family members, especially with Christine and David Woolley, continues to provide Janelle with the support she requires to heal. Quality time with the individuals she loves is an essential aspect of her healing process. And it's apparent that these simple moments reassure her so that she feels loved and appreciated. As Janelle keeps evolving into this new individual, it's clear that she is taking charge of her future, not just with her new business ventures like Tita Farms, but also in her life, where she's building a home in North Carolina. Despite the mishaps at the DMV, Janelle's resolve to establish her new life is resolute. Her resolve to construct stability and serenity for herself is uplifting and empowering. It is inspiring to see Janelle embrace her personal journey with such grace, and the way she is choosing to thrive, even amidst the hardships, is a powerful message of strength and resilience. Janelle Brown's journey of healing and self discovery is both inspirational and heartwarming. After heartbreak, loss, and the trials of her polygamous marriage to Kody, Janelle is emerging a stronger, more self sufficient person. Her healthy growth is a testament to her strength of character and resilience. Her ability to spread happiness, especially when she is among those she cares about, is evident in situations like family gatherings when she recounts small, heartwarming details like sweet treats at a celebration. Janelle seems to radiate happiness when she is spreading love, whether through shared experiences or encouragement for her loved ones. This selfless love illustrates the development that she is sustaining as she moves forward. Her commitment to bettering herself is clear. She's developing her business ventures like her flower business, Tita Farms, and building a home in North Carolina, which suggests that she's not just putting her life back together following what occurred, but actively planning a bright future. Janelle's decision to move on, emotionally as much as physically, follows a great deal of contemplation and a determination to regain control of her own life once more, after so long a period of being held captive by her previous relationship. The most striking aspect of Janelle is the growing sense of peace and self assurance. As she enters this new chapter, she's not seeking other individuals' approval. She's learning to derive satisfaction from within herself. The fact that she's achieving a balance between fulfilling personal goals and enjoying everyday pleasures with family speaks volumes about the satisfaction she's nurturing in her life. It's also reassuring to see that Janelle is continuing to dress in a way that reflects her newfound confidence, that she presents herself smiling, stylish, and with a positive energy about her, indicates that her joy and peace of mind are inward, not something she's found externally. As spring begins, it's a new day for Janelle, one that's full of hope, love, and endless possibilities. Her tale is a reminder that no matter how tough life gets, taking charge of your own happiness is a freeing step on the path to healing and self discovery.